are the truth, the light. You are the hope of life, the name above all names. You are the way. You are the great I am. You are the lion, the lamb, the name above all names. You are the way. The whole world will proclaim. Yes, the whole world will declare, and the whole world will come to its knees in your presence, and the whole world will know the truth, and the only truth is you, and the whole world will see your glory at the feet of Jesus. Lost and wandering, I found escape when you found me. Darkness.
Okay, everybody, I know you're saying, where am I at? Where am I? You are listening to Words to Live by on IntellectualRadio.com, where intentionally we feed your brain. This is Words to Live by, I'm your life coach, Joe Davis, and my beautiful co-host is on her way. I got an ache in my soul, but she's going to be here soon. So if I mess up, if I fumble, it's because I'm not complete. But she will be here soon. That's the beautiful person of Trina Davis. And we're excited one more time to be here. We come to equip, encourage, and empower you to live your best life. And we want you to live your best life now. I promise you, if you tell everybody that we're on the air, if you tell everybody that we're on the internet, by 8 o'clock, you will have been made better. Tonight, I have back with me After the Due Order. And let me tell you, last week they were here with me and we had an awesome time. Yes, they are just the best people to interview and they are back again. I'm so excited to have them tonight. And listen, I wanted to have them tonight, especially because I wanted to know their secret, because they got a secret. I know the pattern is a worship pattern. They taught us that radical meant beginning last week. Oh, they was teaching us a little bit last week. And they told us that radical means back to the beginning. And what they're doing is it's nothing new, but it's what the Lord has originally given us in worship. So we got on that. We listened to it. We were motivated by it. And we thought we would bring them back again because we want to know what's the power that drives them forward. We know ultimately it's the power of God, but there's a vessel in the earth that drives these people forward. And we're going to meet him tonight. I'm so excited about being able to meet him tonight. Listen, you just heard new music by After the Due Order. You can get that music on April 22nd. Yes, it's going to be on April 22nd, and let me tell you, it's going to be in Griffith, Indiana. Their CD release, and it's going to be an awesome occasion. It's only $10. Can you believe that? Only $10. Well, let me tell you, I think as my memory serves me, I hope it serves me correctly, they have 19 songs.
Yes, right.
And they have about 8 songs you can download. Am I right? Is it 8?
12.
12 songs that you can download. So let me tell you, they're not playing with you. They want you to know you can trust them for real. They're not just introducing themselves to a world. They are saying, listen, you can trust us. We're going to give you something for free. And then, listen, we want you to clearly know that you can sow into us because we're good ground. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. They're involved with worship. They have changed the culture and the face of worship throughout this country single-handedly. They snuck up, they crept up in the church and have changed the way we do worship. And now people everywhere are trying to emulate and even imitate what they're doing. It's a blessing to have them tonight. After the Due Order, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It is excited for you. I'm so excited for you to be here. Tonight, what we're going to talk about is what do you? What is it that propels you forward, especially in a culture where we don't like each other, but we have church together. In a culture where we talk about each other.
Mm-hmm.
We lie on each other. But you decided that we're going to give you the heart of God anyway. I want to know what caused you to get to that place, because I'm a firm believer that God chooses and uses ordinary people. I don't think any of you were major stars before this. Some of you were not known at all. I know that for a fact. But now, as a unit, you all are such a blessing in the earth realm. And so tonight we're going to find out. I know God ultimately did it, but we want to find out, what is it that makes you tick? And we're going to find that out tonight. Now, as I look at you, and as you told me a little bit about your story, I learned a few things. And when Mr. Laws get here, we'll talk about those things when he get here. So now, here's what I'm going to do first. Since you are here, I want to talk about all of that movement you do on stage, and you never seem to get tired, and you're singing, and you come back in on key, and I'm like, okay, y'all not out of breath, which means that you've done some major conditioning. And I have the artist director here.
Artist development.
I think artist development person here. I think this person has a little bit to do with that. He has to have a little bit to do with that. Artist development has much to do with what you do on stage as well as off stage. And a lot of times people just want the mic. But before you get the mic, you need to know how to live. You need to know how to act. You need to know how to conduct an interview. All of those type things. So we have with us a young man tonight that's going to tell us what we're supposed to do.
Mr. Zoe is what we call him.
Oh, Mr. Zoe. All right. So, Mr. Zoe, welcome to the show.
And I'm with Joe.
And you with Joe.
That's right.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's where we all start. Artist and professional development is really all about knowing who God called you to be. We start their journey on artist and professional development by answering one question. Who are you?
Who
Identity.
Are you?
Identity is the source in which all the wonderful things that we see come from. God, before the foundation of the world, made us to be something. And starting your journey to learn who that is that he made you to be makes everything else that you see afterwards. Individuals that are lost, when you see individuals lost and they don't know where they are, this is when you begin to discover the dysfunctions in careers and in life in general. But when you truly know who it is that God called you to be, everything in life seems to make sense. The decisions change, you're more calculated. And for our artists here, what you see on stage is an expression of God calling them out of who their former selves were, and to God called them into their present.
Okay. So then let's talk about this. Identity. Because we live in a day today where we're in identity crises, where people really don't know who they are, and people want to mimic other people because they've become enamored with people instead of loving God the way they ought to love God. If you get to know who God is, he will let you know who you are.
That's right.
And what your purpose to do. So how do you take a group of people and give them a platform to really tell you who they are? Because that's a major question. Who are you? Now, when you ask somebody that question, that can trip people up.
It can.
So what were you expecting your artist to say when you asked, who are you? What were you expecting? Or did you help them to know or help them to find themselves?
I can say that it leads you to look to the person that gives you the answer to that question. When you ask that question, there's a blank look on every artist or professional that I've ever asked that question to. It's like, what do you mean, who am I?
Absolutely. Well, I'm stalling.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing. I'm really stalling.
Yeah, exactly. And the truth is, until you consult God on that answer will always trip an individual up. In order for us to really know, as you had just mentioned a moment ago, we have to go to the one who's created us to find the answer to that question. And so it puts you on the journey to seek the Lord in that. And he begins to show you, and it begins to ask, you begin to look at questions like, what are you passionate about? What need in the world do you wish to address? That we both may hear about hungry children in a third world country, but it might touch us a certain way.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that one person is more emotional about it than the other person, but there's a call on one of those individuals and they feel that unction in their spirit to act. That's one of the beginning of you finding what that passion was.
Absolutely. So you're talking about purpose,
Mm-hmm.
how you define purpose and how you come into your purpose. Now, here's what happens though, because a lot of church folk feel like what you're talking right now is gibberish
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to really know the intimacy of God. They don't really want a relationship. They just want a microphone in their hand and they want a stage and they want to perform. They want to be performers, not worshipers, but performers. Because you know what? Anybody can perform. And I say all the time that you can find some of the greatest actors and actresses in our churches. But when you truly come into the knowledge of knowing who God is, and not only reading the word, but knowing his voice, that's when you're going to know who you really are and what you're purposed to do. So then that means to me that you've taken out some time, even away from the art of it, to get to the heart of it.
That's right.
And when you get to the heart of it, then the art of it is going to be blessed. So I love what you're doing. So do you have a regimen? Do you have, how do you start off with them? Who you are, and then we go on to what?
So the process starts with them identifying, first answering these basic questions. What need in the world do you wish to address? We give a questionnaire. So they begin the process of that. They go through a series of, they've come to know it as the hot seat exercise.
Okay.
And it's hot seat on purpose.
Okay, great.
You challenge them on the areas where they said that they're passionate about. You challenge them on the statements that they might make about who it is that they believe that they've been called to be. And then you put them in a setting in which individuals will begin to cross-question. They begin to have a dialogue with one another. And this gives them more of a full scope of what it is that they're saying. And then they'll give we have what is known as a night of purpose. A night of purpose is the opportunity they get to make a bold declaration of who they are in God.
Absolutely.
And that bold declaration, they have to prepare, they have to study, they have to journal regularly in order to pull that out, put themselves in the presence of God and allow him to do the work that he does so well.
As I often say, worship is a lifestyle.
It is.
So you're not just singing, you're living.
They're living this.
You're living this. And the reason that you're good at what you do, because it is you. So you cannot help what you do because it is who you are.
That's right.
And it's what you're purposed to do. And nobody on the earth can do it better than you because God created only one you.
That's right.
And so because you're here today after the due order and you're here in purpose, on purpose, to do the will of God, I think that's excellent. And I think that it's important that we prepare us first before we prepare the hearts of men. So I want to commend you. And of course, you're a leader, because your leader has to be an awesome man of God to have this wonderful schematic drawn out, knowing that, oh my God, I have a plan. You know, just like God has a plan. Jeremiah 29:11 said he has a plan for our lives. And so your leader has to be following a plan. So he found you, and you fit the pattern. And then he found the singers, they fit the pattern. And I'm just anxious to see who he is. I want to know Mr. Laws. I want to know him, because you all represent God and him so very well. Thank you, Mr. Zoe.
Thank you, Joe.
Now give us your full name one more time.
My name is Lorenzo Weber, and it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Lorenzo Weber. Who did you work with before you came to After the New Order?
So the way that it all started, I was called to his office.
Okay.
And he said, I've been watching you. And when Sir says he's been watching you, there's a reason for it.
Okay.
It's hard to believe what I was doing before this. I was working at Triton College doing student affairs.
Okay.
And then the rest of course is history after walking in the hallway with in the office with Mr. Laws. That was amazing, and it changed my life forever.
So you're me. He prophetically saw that you were already working with people, but he gave you purpose in the people you work with.
That's right.
Amazing. Mr. Laws, can we switch seats for a minute? Because I need to get him over here like right now. You've been on my mind for 7 days, sir. You've been on my mind for 7 whole days. Sir, God bless you.
Sir.
Welcome to the show. This
Thank
is
you.
Words to Live by on IntellectualRadio.com, where intentionally we feed your brain. We come to equip, encourage, and empower you to live your best life. Over 50 internet shows where we intentionally feed your brain. Today we have with us the one and only Ronnie Laws. I'm telling you, this man is somebody, and I ain't never met him before. I ain't never seen him before, but I know he's somebody. Listen, let me tell you what I've thought of you this week. And I don't know you. I don't know nothing about after the dual order, but what y'all showed me.
Sure.
And I've seen you on Periscope, so I went on Worship Arise today because I wanted to get a feel for what is this. Let me see. And you're a smart man. First of all, let me tell you, you're a God ordained man, and you're a smart man. And you don't find too many smart men in the church, but you are a smart man. Let me tell you why I think you're smart. Mr. Laws, I think you're smart because when I think of you, I think of Motown. I think of that model. I said, when I looked at the Motown model of how Berry Gordy did what he did years ago, I said, you know what? I think Ronnie Laws said, I could do that for the kingdom. Because I see so many similarities in what you're doing. So I said, Ronnie Laws is saying, I could do that for the kingdom of God. And the reason it's phenomenal is because nobody works that hard in the kingdom. Because we come out half done. We come out ill prepared, and we feel like as long as we got a voice and we blaze and some slick beats, we got it. But then we're short-lived because we're not fulfilled in our purpose, because we're not giving ourselves woefully to God. And you said, I'm going to create a situation where the people give them their whole selves to God, so that they will live on purpose and do what we do on purpose. So it's not art, it's really life. But when the audience see it, they see art, but it's life. That's why you could do it again and again and again and again, because not only are you just conditioned to do it, but it's your life scope. How did you come up with that? Because that's amazing to me.
Well,
and I want you in all of my business. How did you do that?
Well, honestly, it wasn't something that I came up with. It was something that the Holy Ghost showed me and gave me. I'm a musician myself, and I was out there in it, traveling, doing the thing.
Okay.
And he just stopped me one day and he said, you know, I want to make you my minister of music to the nations.
Ah, I love it.
I love make you my minister of music to the nations. I was a minister of music in the church.
Okay.
I was fine there, just doing well. And he said, I'm setting you apart for a special purpose. And he had me to leave the ministry I was at. And I left, and I didn't go to church for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And he just began to download this vision to me.
Okay.
And it frightened me. Because I didn't understand it.
Good. It was bigger than you.
It was bigger than me, way bigger. And so when he began to show me this vision, he finally told me what ministry he wanted me to go to. And the pastor was talking about the words of our mouth, confessing the words of our mouth.
Oh, it sounds like I know that pastor.
Yeah, that's Pastor.
That's Bill Winston. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that word.
And in that moment, he spoke to me and he said, now I want you to open up a record label that's going to be my business model.
Okay.
He said, I'm going to show you, I'm going to teach you everything you need. Just follow my steps, and I'm going to walk you to the top of the music industry with this business model. So I just began to follow him, and he began to lay this pattern out, and I just followed the pattern every step. And so for me, it was a building process at the same time, because he was transforming me for my understanding. So, you know, when he just started saying, people like Lorenzo said, and he said, I'm gonna send you everybody you need.
Yes.
You're not gonna have to. And he said, and when you do it, tell every single one of them you're not paying them anything to do it.
Yes.
That's how I knew they were God ordained, because they came in, oh, well, you know.
Oh, you know how that goes.
You know how it goes.
Yes.
So,
you ain't paying me, goodbye.
Exactly. And so they came in willing and ready to work, and they had the same faith. The same like faith.
Yes.
And they got in the dirt and began to dig, and we just started putting this puzzle together.
So you began to dig your well.
Yes.
And here it is on April 22nd, the first well.
Yes.
I love it, Mr. Laws. You all right with me? Somebody holler out the address. April 22nd at 7 o'clock. Where we gonna be?
We'll be at True Light International Ministries, 1257 North Klein,
They are in Griffith, Indiana, 46319.
They going to Griffith, Indiana. Let me tell you, that's faith in itself. That they going to Griffith, Indiana, because it's not about how many of y'all show up.
Yes.
They know God gonna be there.
That's right.
So that's the whole thing. God has made them self-sufficient, and they ain't scared. I love it. You're listening to Words to Live on IntellectualRadio.com, where intentionally we feed your brain. Let me tell you, I'm sitting here with the incomparable Ronnie Laws. God has made him. He said, "I'm gonna make you a real minister of music."
Yes.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you what being a minister of music really is. You gotta follow my order.
That's right.
So I understand how you got after the due order now, because you had to get in order before, and then you had to order them.
Yes.
And then after the due order came about. I love what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thank you.
God is going to just take you so far.
Praise God.
And let me tell you, we're living in a time where the music industry is not what it used to be. Record companies are no longer what they used to be. They don't have the power that they used to have. When iTunes came in, it wrecked us. And not only did it wreck us, but all of the distribution companies and all of that, people have been laid off. There's no work for that. But you are coming here in a time with faith, knowing that the industry is in the shakeup that it's in, because your focus is not on the industry.
That's right.
It's in him.
That's right.
It's on intimacy. Because he tells you direction, he tells you where to go, what to do, and as you follow that,
right.
God makes it big. And he makes it big for his glory. I love that. I really love that. That's amazing. Because then when you do it his way, everything you need, he'll give it to you. And you won't have to owe any man nothing.
Amen.
I love it, love it, love it. Man, you're a man after my own heart. So let me know, because I know what you're doing right now. I think I know what you're doing. You're doing After the Due. Well, we talked last week about one young lady who had her record out before After the Due came out, and then I looked up and she's a part of After the Due. And so I said that had to be a part of artist development.
Yes.
And I said, Mr. Laws had to love you enough he saw some rough edges. He said, I'm going to smooth out those rough edges. And when we put her out again, she's going to be a diamond, but she won't be in the rough.
Right.
She'll be a real diamond. She'll be a gem. Is that what you did?
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Every artist that comes through our record label has to come through After the Due order.
Okay.
It's their training ground.
Okay.
It's that piece that's getting us. And Tarita Songbird, she came in before he gave me the vision for After the Due order.
Yeah. And
we were working with her, and of course every artist think they know it all.
Oh yeah.
They think they got it together. We know how the music
I was the star in my church.
And so when he downloaded this vision for After the Due order, he said you have to take all your artists back through this process and make them ready for the main stage.
Yes.
And so, it was tough. I was in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, now I got to pull her back and I got to put this first and I got to do all this. But he said, I'm with you. He said, I'm with you with this. So just walk it out. And so, I talked to everybody, got it all together and told them what we was going to be doing. And everybody was with it. And we went with the process and it fell right in. And as it began to fall in, because with Lorenzo and myself, we get all in your business. We go deep into your life.
Okay.
We get way back and pull those things in your childhood that was there, because that stuff ends up showing up in your daily life.
Absolutely.
And so as a minister of music, as a worship leader, you have to be able to move past those things in life and seek God totally.
And you don't want any blockage on the stage.
No blockage on the stage at all. And so in that process, it really began to show us the dirt. It began to show that, you're talking about the diamond in the rough. It begins to show us those rough places, and it really began to polish and bring those things out in everybody that was there that needed to be worked on.
Now, here's what was interesting, though, because when I have to become transparent,
yes,
and you got to know my dirt, my hurt and my dirt.
Yes.
That's not easy for me to part with.
Not.
Because I'm used to putting on the face. And the reason I put on the face is because the church taught me how to put it on.
Yes.
So I thought I was right for putting on the face that I have, because I was taught that in the church. But you said, I'm stripping you. I'm going to strip you, and then I'm going to varnish you. Amazing.
Yes.
And then you there has to be something about you that's very trusting for these young people to say, okay, I'm going to let you in. I'm going to let you in. That's amazing. That's amazing. So
He's proven.
So you are a father, a friend, a mentor, and a big brother, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
While saying, listen, I'm going to develop you, and I need to trust you as you trust me. So you have a family. That's why I thought about the Motown structure, because that's what Barry Gordy was trying to do with Motown, build a family. And so you have a family. You have built a utopia right in the midst of the church.
Indeed, yes.
And you have built the kingdom, because the church won't be the kingdom.
Yes.
I love what you're doing, man.
Yes, praise
I
God.
love what you're doing. Now tell me something. I know God gave you this to do.
Sure.
And I know you didn't have all the resources when you began. And I know you don't have all the resources now, because it was bigger than you. And you told me you were even afraid of it. And because it's bigger than you. And you're supposed to have a certain amount of reverential fear that keeps your face to the floor as you're doing what you're doing. But now that you begin to see God move and manifestation begins to take place, and the people begin to take ownership, and they begin to speak with your voice, and your voice is his voice, because as you spoke, they spoke. And that means that don't happen overnight. Let me tell you, that means that you've had to change some personalities. They've had to become who they are, because they were not. You're talking about new creature. This is new creature personified right in front of your face. But here's what happens. Because you're able to do that with a group of people. See, the church cannot do that, because the church cannot account for every member every day. But you are sold out. You live this. I know you live it, because if you're in everybody's business, and you everybody's daddy and everybody's brother, that means you're around everybody all the time. And that's how accountability takes place. And that's how you can't stay in your mess, because your mess comes to the forefront. I call you out, but we love you through your mess. We don't get rid of you. We love you through it. And if you can't stand what we're doing, you'll leave yourself.
That's right.
And I'm sure you've had a few to be gone. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, I know you've had a few to be gone. Well, see, I know the Lord, and I know church for real. But listen, God will weed out for you. You don't have to. You don't have to get rid of nobody. He said, "Let the wheat and the tare grow together, and at harvest time, I'll do the separating." And He's already done that, and He continues to do that. Now, here's what happens when people see that tares are leaving. They want to be wheat. Glory to God. They change their hearts, their mind. They start praying more. They start getting in the scripture, because they don't want to be left. They want to be wheat. And you don't have to separate, because sometimes tares look like immature wheat. So you might get rid of something that you're supposed to keep, but God will do the separating. And the people will walk on there. I can't do it. They'll just tell you, I can't do it. I just can't do this. Because if you don't live this is how you get one heart. This is how you get one breath. This is how you get one mind. It's amazing what you're doing. God, this is what God is calling for. This is the order of God.
That's right.
And I don't know nobody in Chicago doing that. You are amazing. You are phenomenal to even attempt to do that. Where in the world did you come from?
The president.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You know, and it's not, and I'm not talking about being perfect.
Sure.
But I'm talking about being perfected.
Yes.
So even when you fall, you get up. And you have to be transparent enough to tell people, you know what? I messed up. That's how trust is developed. When you're able to come in and say, you know what, I need y'all to pray me through today. When you do that, that's when it becomes a community. That's when everybody begins to trust everybody. And I see that in you because it's genuine. Now, if you wasn't real, I wouldn't see it. But God let me see that in you and see somewhat of your plan, because you're just ordinary people. God said, I'm going to choose you because don't nobody know you. I'm going to choose you because you haven't been tainted by everything and everybody. I'm going to get you before you get God. That's what he did with you. And then you took the people from obscurity and brought them to the forefront of the kingdom.
Yes.
And lives are going to be changed. And just like their lives were changed, all you're doing is replicating the process. You're going to change lives in the audience. Because when they breathe on the people, they're going to breathe the same life that you helped them to change. And then other people, it's going to be contagious. And some people in that audience is going to be changed. That's what it's all about. Is that you?
That's us.
Hey, man, I love it. I love it. You're listening to Words to Live by IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your life coach, Joe Davis. My beautiful co-host is Trina Davis. We're here. We come to equip, encourage, and empower you to live your best life, and we want you to live it right now. We have these people here, and they are showing us what equipping is all about. And we're encouraging them because they have something to equip us with. And we know that they can empower. They have changed lives, empowered lives to do this work. And let me tell you, they're doing a great job at it. Everybody's talking about it. And it's not no grand and glorious PR scheme. Let me let you know that. They ain't got enough money to hire the best PR people. I already know that. That's not what it is. But he follows the Lord, and the Lord gives him favor. And people that don't like them talk about them. Pub comes along. People that don't understand them talks about them, advertising them again. So God is just really, his hand is on this. I'm so excited about what you're doing. And I know that you have an order to the madness. I know that you're coming. By the sophomore project, we're going to see the next artist. I already know it. And listen, here's what's so smart. This is genius. That everybody comes through after the due order. And when they are already ready when they're ready. They're already ready when they're ready. That's amazing. And so you don't ever have to waste any time.
That's right.
And this is what's so amazing, how you use social media. That's genius.
Yeah.
The way you use social media, and now people are following you and looking at you. Because I looked at Arise today, I'm saying, okay, now what's to Arise? But we'll be right back. Listen, when we come back, we're going to talk about what's to Arise. Cue up the next music, please. And we're going to talk about that. And when we get ready to talk about Arise and how international it is, it's also marketing. We'll be right back.
We call out your name, tell the whole world what you've done. We give you your stage, broadcast your wonders around. It's breaking news of salvation, how God is mighty to save. To every godless nation, our God is worthy of praise. We send up a round of applause to the Lord our God. To the Lamb of God, and all of the glory and all of the strength. Make famous your name, your birth in the land and the whole earth stand. Tell the whole world what you've done.
All right, everybody. That was after the due order. And I just asked them who wrote this song. And they all did. So they have sessions that they come together and write. They do it like pros do it. I mean, we don't do that at church. That's not what we do in the church. But they're setting a standard, letting people know that you can be as great as any secular artist that's doing whatever they're doing, because you represent the King of Kings.
Yes.
So you have to be as great, or you have to be better, because you're doing it for God, and what you do for Christ is going to last. Let me tell you, what's so amazing about it is not how you sound. That does not move me. But what moves me is the unity that you have. And that's why you'll get breakthroughs because of the unity, because it's the faith that you have, the united faith that you have that moves God. Faith moves God. Actions don't move it. Tears don't move it. Faith moves God. So as you operate in faith, God is going to cause you to come to the forefront. He's going to make your music great because of your lifestyle, not because of your voices, because voices change, but principles stay the same. And so you are building this thing on the principle of God, man, and I'm excited about you.
Yeah.
How long you been saved?
Oh, my God. I've been saved since I was 16 years old.
Amen.
16 years
20-some years.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you really known him, though?
I've known him for 16 since I was 16.
16 years old. Okay. How long have you been hearing his
I've been
voice?
hearing him since I was about 5 years old.
You're amazing. Are you a minister? I know you're a minister of music, but are you?
I am a minister, yes.
Okay. I know you have to be a word man, too.
Yes.
Amazing. So worship is your passion.
Worship is my passion. It is. It is my passion. It's what God has assigned me to, but I was a worshiper before that. Like I said, since my father died when I was 6 months old.
Okay.
And so the only voice that I ever had in fatherhood was the Holy Ghost. Speaking to me from a young age and just leading me and guiding me and always there. Not ever really knowing what that voice was until I got older.
Yeah.
But and teaching me, was just really the smart kid that knew everything.
Okay.
And he just led me, and I would always just thank the voice that was there, worshiping the voice that was there.
Y'all better watch that. That's a song. Thank the voice. That's a song. Y'all need to write that.
Not knowing, all the time this was God. This was the Holy Ghost leading me in my life the whole time. And one day at 16, I went to my brother and I said, you know what? This voice is there. I want to follow. I want a more intimate relationship with that voice. And from that day forward, he just flooded me.
Amazing.
And so he leads me in everything.
So you are duplicating what your life has been.
Yes.
And bestowing it upon this people. And you know it because you've lived it 20 plus years.
Yes.
So they can't fool you.
That's right. Not at all.
They cannot fool you. Yes. So they got to come correct.
Got to.
Or get out. But they'll leave themselves out. Listen, this is amazing. I love what you're doing. But now, on the 22nd of April.
Yes.
All of your hard work. Because the way you did it was amazing to me. It seems like you said, okay, God, here's my army. He picked the people for you. And you quietly went behind the scenes. Didn't let nobody for a while know what you were doing. Your rehearsal time and everything had to be hush hush, and nobody knew about what you were doing. And then you start to just tease us a little bit, tease us just a little bit, And then we start being curious as you wanted us to be,
right?
And then you didn't get discouraged because I started seeing little things a few years ago, and it wasn't that many people hitting like. It wasn't that many people going looking at the little videos or whatever. Nobody was doing that, but you kept on teasing us. You kept on teasing us, and now, April 22nd. April 22nd. Give us that address again. Come on.
True Light International Ministries. They're located at 1257 North Klein, Griffith, Indiana, 46319.
1257 North Klein in Griffith, Indiana. Listen, if you want a good Polish, you'll go all over the city.
Yeah.
Come on, God's going to be there. It's only $10 for the CD. We gotta charge you for the CD. They've been giving away stuff for years. Now you can bless them. Okay, and it ain't about money for them.
No.
But I hope that we come and get 2 CDs so that they can do a video, because you gotta see them. You can't just hear these folks. You gotta see what they're doing, because they inspire you when you see them. You're gonna see life in action, and it looks good.
Awesome.
You're listening to Words to Live by IntellectualRadio.com, where intentionally we feed your brain. We are an iHeart station. So therefore, I think right now we are probably one of the best internet radio stations the world over because we keep doing it and doing it. And needless to say, you're listening to the best show of all the shows on Intellectual Radio. We are Words to Live by. I'm your life coach, Joe Davis, my beautiful co-host, who is the run of this show, and she's not here. And my heart goes Peter patter when she sits next to me, and I get inspired, and I come up with poetry and all kind of words because she's who she is, the lady of my dreams for 25 years. She's not here. So I'm only half as good today. But you are listening to Words to Live by. And we're here with the great. And I call him great because of what he's produced, Ronnie Laws. And he does it behind the scenes. You know, it's amazing. Here's what's amazing, Mr. Laws. Mm-hmm. You have great discipline. Yes. I don't know you, but I know you have great discipline because, you know, when things get to popping, folk want to be in the front.
Yes.
You are in the back.
Yes.
And you're pushing your people to the front.
Yes.
You can do it. You can do it.
That's right.
And then when people feel inadequate, you're telling them, no, I want you out there.
That's right.
You can do it. But, you know, let them, you know, because, you know, sometimes singers can feel other singers.
Yeah.
And we're human.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to turn. Everybody want to be. And you say, no, it ain't time for them yet. You just come on out here.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah. You, because God has really given you this thing.
Yes.
It's a major formula.
It is.
It's and you don't know it all.
No.
See, that's the amazing part. You don't know it all.
Yeah.
So it's still, you're walking in
That's
faith,
right.
and they're walking in faith. And that's why on the 22nd of April, all of these people are going to release a sound in the earth.
That's right.
Amen.
A sound in the earth. 1257 North Klein and Griffith, Indiana. You need to be there. I think it's True Light.
Yes.
International Ministries.
Yeah.
I listened to you. I got it. You need to be there because God is going to be there. Let me tell you why God is going to be there. He's going to be there because Ronnie Laws chose after the due order like Jesus chose the 12.
Yes.
I see it. I see it. He just unfolded it to me and told me I chose them like Jesus chose the 12.
Yes.
You know, Matthew was a tax collector and he was literally no good, but Jesus saw something in him. And there are some people sitting here today, and they had some rough edges, but Ronnie Law said, I see some good. Oh, my God. Help me. I love
Praise
it.
God.
I love it. That's what God did.
That's what he did.
Through his son, Jesus. And you're doing the same thing,
Yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I'm, oh, my God. Okay, let me get myself together. You're listening to, let me get professional again. Whew. Well, Jesus, that's amazing because everybody has their own mind. They have their own, I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
I just want to be great. I just want to sell a lot of records. I just want to do it. I want to make a lot of money. I want to do it. But you are saying, I was already doing all right at my church.
Oh, yeah.
I was already seated on the throne.
Oh, yeah.
But I left my throne. Oh, my God, man. Oh,
Cue shot of music.
okay. Look, okay, let me cut it down. All right. April 22nd.
April
Yes.
22nd.
1257 North Klein.
North Klein.
In Griffith, Indiana. All roads are going to lead to you. May as well come because God's going to be there. And let me tell you about discipleship, fellowship. You need to be there because you're going to see fellowship in action. He ain't trying to be the pastor, but he's certainly coaching them to victory.
That's right.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Man, let me shake your hand. Right now,
Bless you.
listen, I pray that the power of God stay on your life, that it would remain, and that you would continue to have great prophetic insight as you do into the lives of people, and that you would continue to seed into the lives of people. And as you seed and develop, that God will take you higher and higher, higher than you can even imagine yourself to go. You're listening to Words to Live by IntellectualRadio.com. We're going to play another song by After the Due Order because I'm all caught up right now. After the Due Order. Listen to them.
I'm after your heart. Why should I be still when starts, Lord? I'm so in love with you. What can man do? Can't hold me back anymore. Yes, I'm after your heart. Why should I be still when the worship starts, Lord? I'm so in love with you. What can man do? Can't hold me back anymore. Whoa, yes, you spin over me, and you are pleased when I spin myself on you. Oh, I'm gonna let go, really worship, letting my dance come forth. I'm letting my dance come forth as you spin over me, and I'm pleased when I spin myself on you. I'm gonna let go, really worship, letting my dance come forth. Let the spirit move me, dance, dance.
They really need to imitate this model. And I think I haven't let all the mics back up because I'm excited. But I asked that his wife would come and be next to him right now because I'm like, this man ain't doing this by himself. And I know that. You know, this has to be an amazing woman because you're sitting here with a lot of young girls. And you have to pour a lot into young girls. And, you know, and they have to get in order and be in order. And sometimes they weren't always in order, I'm sure. I'm sure sometimes they didn't know how to carry themselves around a man that's a husband. You know, you don't greet the husband and don't greet the wife. You know, I'm sure they had to learn some things. And this lady is hard enough to get that done and compassionate enough to have patience to allow you to do what you're called to do. You couldn't do it without her. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Laws.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you are an amazing woman.
Praise God.
A woman that's strong and secure. Know who you are and know your place. You are amazing. How do you do that? How in the world do you do what you do while he does what he does? And sometimes he has a mandate. You want him at home, and he talking about I'll be in the bed one more minute. I just need to read this. I got to get this. How do you do it?
Well, it definitely takes a surrendered attitude before the Lord. First of all, you have to be submissive.
Yes.
Second of all, I have to say that my husband is an awesome teacher.
Yes.
Because before it was after the due order, he had to teach me.
Hey, come on here, girl.
And so I always tell him, I actually used to work for my husband before I became his wife.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I don't want anything you have. I just want you to show me how to do it. And he taught me every single solitary thing that I know. And we built a business and went to great heights. And when God called him into this, I trusted him before I ever loved him. I fully trusted him, and I fully trust him now because he does not speak of himself. He is submitted before God, so therefore I don't have anything to worry about.
You are an amazing girl. This is an amazing love story. And
only knew.
You know what? I'm getting ready to do a show soon called Couples Corner because my wife and I wrote a book called I Said I Do, but sometimes I don't want to. And I want to have you back in that capacity. Yes. But let me just tell you, I noticed last week when Mrs. Loss was here, she knows how to lead.
Yes.
She knows very well how to lead. She's strong and she can command the leader.
Yeah.
And they listen and they watched. I got all of that. But I also know she knows how to follow. I see that because now you're here today and she is submitted but yet strong. Yeah. A quiet storm. I am who I am, but I know my place. And when he needs me, I will be there. But right now he don't need me. So I'm saving my strength until he needs me. And if he should happen to look like he's going to fall, I got him. You're listening to Words to Live on Intellectual Radio. Do I got him? Do I got it? On IntellectualRadio.com. This is an amazing group of people. The reason why they're amazing to me is because we live in the second largest market for broadcasting. We live in the gospel mecca of the world. There is so many great, iconic people that have sang gospel music that have come out of our city. But I haven't seen in my 50 plus years nobody that doesn't like this. Not in this city. And my hat's off to you, young man.
Thank you, sir.
And let me tell you, yes, it's easy for people to want to jump on the board now. Before they weren't really looking at you.
Yeah.
But now I know you got people, they ask it. Can I?
Yeah.
You know what? It was 5 wise and 5 foolish. And the wise kept their lamps trimmed and burning.
Yeah.
And the foolish didn't have any oil when the time came.
Yeah.
So now the time is here and the door has been closed. Yeah. You're listening to Words to Live By on IntellectualRadio.com, where intentionally we feed your brain. I think you all are amazing. This is the first group I've ever been excited about, and I don't care nothing about what you sound like. That's why you're going to last. Because it's not in the sound, and it's not in trends. It's in Jesus. It's in Jesus. And let me tell you, you're doing it you're doing it for him. If there's accolades, if there's awards and all that stuff, if that comes, okay. If it doesn't come, okay. Because we know he's well pleased. And let me tell you, that's how you can be blessed. When you put him first, he'll give you everything you need. He'll give you the desires of your heart. Thank you for changing the lives of these young people.
Thank you.
I see change. I know they're not perfect people, but they're pure.
Yes.
See, there's a difference in being perfect and being pure. Because when you're pure, you endeavor to stay clean. Yeah. When you're perfect, you don't need God. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your life coach, Joe Davis. My beautiful co-host is Trina Davis. Mr. Laws, yes, if you had something to tell, you know the upheaval that goes on in the church today. Yes. You know what's representing God out here today. You know the lifestyle, you know the rumors, you know what people are doing, how they're living. What would you say to the young girl, young boy that really aspire to be and really feel like they're called to be the psalmist of the Lord, but they really don't have many examples in the earth? All they know they got is a voice and a willing heart. What would you say to them, and how would you encourage that individual tonight?
Well, I would encourage that individual. First of all, I would tell them first there is hope.
Yes.
Return to God.
Yes, return to God.
Return to God's way of doing things.
Yes.
And seek his pattern and seek his way. You will be successful in every endeavor you go through.
Every endeavor. Yeah. But I don't want to seek God because it takes too long.
If you don't want to seek God, just prepare to live a mediocre life and never get anywhere.
But if I seek God.
But if you seek God, he's going to take you from faith to faith.
And glory to
glory.
First seek ye the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, the right way of doing things. And all other things, whatever that might be, will be added unto you. I'm not out of answers, but I am out of time. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. Good night.
Praise His Lord.